Hi, and welcome back to Mission and Ministry Sylvester. Mission and Ministry Sylvester, we continue to show you fruitfulness and stage in crop and plantations. And this we want to say the Lord is so much overemphasized, having to decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. This is where we can say, when you have a blessing, the kind of blessing or anointing that flows and anointing that multiplies, then we should see it as it is right on the short. And this is what we can say, pot plant, as you know what it means to say pot and what it means also to say plant. Where after this name has been derived from what? A naming that only regard not doing away with all things, but selecting things and placing things and like coding. So we coded this only for you to see. Now, how do you count on blessings? How do you count blessings daily? How do you say the Lord is blessing you daily? Now, assuming you were once given a field, and that field you were able to plant, say, plantains, like you put in plantains of two, and then the next few coming months, the plantains sprout each with new plantain or young ones, and each plantain had now become two. So multiplying two by two, you are getting four, and another few months to come or few days to come, the other ones also springs out what? Young ones or younger ones. And that also, when you recount, when you have these four, each producing also one, just say one. So when you do that, you are getting multiplied by what? Four. And that you have six, eight, you get it. So from that, four, six, and then to eight. Because each pot plant should give us at least one. At least one. Do you want to look at what I'm saying? So we do not count blessing with the mouth without saying the kind of blessedness that the Lord is saying. If you never church, you will never understand. I'm not saying that church is what is showing you what I'm saying. I'm saying that under this, or what made it, the apostolic. When we talk of apostolic, apostolic is as having this flower, how beautiful this flower is, and you also getting, let's just look at the plant first. This is the plant. This is very beautiful and so beautiful. But what makes it more interesting, it is when you see the fruitfulness of this very plant, then you will see the value added onto this plant. And the value added onto this plant is what? It's its flowers that makes it so beautiful. So if you didn't see the value for this plant, you probably say, oh, because you don't value anything in this plant. What do you value? Maybe your like is so much in what? In flowers, and you haven't seen flower come out from the plant, so you will want to say, oh, because of that you didn't have any much interest laid on this, or you cannot emphasize that you love this truly as you are seeing it. So a beautiful flower should not only display, but let us see the goodness of the flower. So this is what we term as what? Counting blessing. So this plant, you look at it in a more beautiful way, like a an army color, as you can see it is live. So other parts also showing what? Red, other brighter part of the colors, and others showing olive. So all this put together, I will begin to tell you that is a what? The blessing. Because you cannot say you're doing anything without those colors. Like this very crop is a special crop, right? And as you see this crop, you cannot say you just hate it or you like it. There's something that this crop should help us do, or this plant should help us do. That should be the blessings of this very plant. Because when this plant fail to give or do what we are supposed to be given, or that which we must derive from it, that it makes it quite unbearable to say you want to love it or you want to attach your faith with it. Because it is it working, performing authority or performance that will also give you why you love it or why you attach your love with it. So to count on blessing daily is this. Take just planting or pot plant. So I called it pot plant. Why? At the base, you see it. Why we're going to count, a lot of blessings. It means we are counting anointing. Anointing is this that you cannot count. But we tell you, if you have to have one planting or one pot plant, so there's a new name for it, pot plant. Now you have probably one of these. because you at the end also cook with it. You cook it and you use it for many other purposes, for healing also of the nation. So one, is as this, showing that you first planted this, and now as time goes on, this one also what springs out from the base. I hope you can see what I'm saying. It's only one of these that have been planted here, or that have been what covered under grass here as a stem or pillar or tower. So say one tower of pot plant, and now we are seeing it being very much producing from the base. So this is why you can say blessings is this I can count on. Because if I didn't see two things here and I still see one thing that I planted in the beginning of this, then I am still counting on that one without realizing why or the need for progress. So this is making a progress. Yeah, the progress is that we did have one pot plant tower erected, and from that young stage, now we can see it also springing up many other values and having young ones from the base. And with this, you can now tell counting blessings daily. So it means that it is multiplying as as you as you probably make uses of what the mature part. It is yet also producing young ones or younger ones, and that makes you count it more. It means that you did not just erect one of these things and lose it because you have what you have eaten the edible part of it. But as you plant one and provided it with security or the kind of garden it deserves, then you expect nothing but the Lord's expectation is that when you plant or erect one of these pot plants, then you're definitely going to also see what multiplication of it. Yes, it will multiply. So assuming you did only erect one, expect nothing but more at the base. And this will also depend on how you trade the base. Yes, how to grow it in that lengthy quantity to even sell is this. We can say one thing, but also having more branches. So for such pot plants, the branches that you want to say it have is rather having it from what production center or producing more from the what the combs of it, or what you want to term it as. Now I say pot plant to have more pot base of this or more pot plants. So each represents a port, like I'm saying. Yeah, because the base of this is more like a port or anything you want to understand, whatever you want to say. But I have a meaning to what I'm saying. So that is what I'm saying, to count blessings. So this is counting blessing. So you cannot talking or hear somebody talking without him. I told you we've been to the hospital, but I'm the same person still showing you what every good. I didn't want to show up certain things. That's why I didn't come with the plaster and all those huge things. But at least I have it also showing on something. At least one of that. You see how beautiful and colorful it is that I am in this place. This is it. So when I got changed before you, you have to know this is what the Lord wanted you to understand. That a man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho or Jerusalem to Jericho, it doesn't really become a book that you have to read or write. But understanding that if you were that person, the book is referring to, then you would have known practically what you have suffered. You would have suffered many things, not just reading stories. Because story reading will tell you nothing but only make you probably smile or feel something. Now, you having emotions or reactions after reading something doesn't mean that you were a part of the whole book. It will form only a part in you as you are the one reading. Whether it's an interest-based story or not, you will only feel that. But when it comes to what emotions of anointing, then what you had, what you really want to say is of the Lord shouldn't fail, because what concerns the Lord is very huge. Yes, and it's a whole network of things. Like you see, bunch of fingers of what this. I stand tall and touch it. You cannot just touch anything on street or in places if you are not the one responsible for growing this. If you are not the one monetizing and monitoring, if you are not the one blessing, if you are not the one praying also over these things, you dare not try. Because it is the word and spirit and manipulations of the Lord and his own host. That makes all that we are saying. So if there has been nobody on screen on shot like this to demonstrate what we're saying is sowing a seed or planting something, then it would have been something nothing. Now we look more like a person in another image because we want to appear like that. That you may know what happens even in the gardens. So at the gardens, you will see so many things happen and happen like this. We have also the nurses. This is more reason why we have the hospital. We didn't have the hospital because somebody is suffering or going through pain or health. Hospital is only there for the gardens. That's why the nurses got dressed in white and more of a green and maybe chocolate colors. That is it. Only for you to see the energy, the gold dust, and then the virgins, and then the whole lot of that. So getting dressed in a nurse's attire doesn't mean you should become one of them that you are trying to heal or solving problem for. It should be you innocent completely, so that when you see somebody with trouble, you know already. Direct opposite. Thank you so much, and we are also doing well trying to make sure you see what it is that you must feel it. I feel it so well. Thank you so much for this understanding of gardens and why the gardens and then why the hospital. For hospital is charity home. Hospital is what? Charity home. So hospital is not for sinners. Hospital is what? A place that you have high physicians and professionals who are there to only what? Making sure nation go on. So hospital is for nation. Hospital is not for a country. That is why the name on the hospital is private even than the people you think you should serve. Yes. So I think we have all things to heal. This is a name tree. So if I didn't understand you well, this is a name tree. What is the purpose of it? You must learn to know it. Learn to know it. Learn to know the purpose and need of it. So that when we appear on that shot in the beauty glowing, then you will know that we have gone through changes or transformation. Every wonderful message or word that you hear here is things that lead the path to what? Heaven. That you are told on heaven, there's a path that also leads to what? Destruction. So we are not here to tell you how we hope that heaven will favor us, heaven will do this. And my friend, if you're not the one producing the fruit thereof, you don't encounter any angelic visitation. You don't also think that there will be a miracle that you enter heaven or you will be hot. And that God is merciful. There's no merciful God when it comes to doing what you must do, and that you refuse to do it. Do it and get well. Do it, and that's what guarantees you. Christ says that you have no condition to enter heaven if you are not a righteous person to do more than or exceedingly beyond that of the scribe and Pharisee. He has defined it. You cannot change it. Where are you seeing or meeting with Christ to even change it? That is you. To you, you understand that a sinner will enter heaven, but it's not like that. He says, carry your work, your good work, and the fruitfulness is what shows the signs of what? Your work. Thank you so much. This is the beauty of the gardens. And I'll take another good look at the flower stage and see why someone who is next to a flower has been made powerful enough. And if you have been trained in the gardens with the weapon, you know, we are from the military, we are from the presence, we are from what? Of all that I want to say is of the Lord. Every wonderful good thing, you must count on that blessedness without failing. Thank you so much for your great stay with us. And this is Mission and Ministries. We are broadcasting live again. And come your way, another episode of great, good fruitfulness. This is today's date. That marks 0943. And you probably want to say FRI. So if you didn't ever achieve F in your studies or academia, you are not that person. It means that F as Friday, you are not a testimony. So you cannot parrot A. A to A is lies. There's no A to A in the world. I'm telling you. Good. Take care of yourself and goodbye for now.